Well, meantime, the president-elect continues to rapidly fill his incoming cabinet, but he has reportedly hit a snag over one particular role. Two men were widely seen as Trump's top picks for Treasury Secretary. One is the chief executive of a Wall Street firm, the other, the founder of an investment firm. But the president-elect has now pressed pause on the selection process. And let's bring in NewsNation's Robert Sherman live for us in West Palm Beach, keeping tabs on all of the developments. Robert, there are reportedly some new names now in the mix.
Right, and this is a very important position for the president-elect, especially when it comes to economic policies that he's been stumping hard on the campaign trail on over the last few months. So that's why there's such interest in this position. Up to this point, the two names that have really risen to the top of the conversation, Howard Lutnick, who also co-chairs the transition team, as well as Scott Bessent, who's a hedge fund manager. And we know for a fact from sources that there was another meeting between Bessent and the president-elect's team just late last week as they try and sort out this position here. But there has been a lot of reporting that has come out over the weekend about how maybe the scope of this one position is expanding a little bit, and they're looking at some other candidates here. And sources have been able to confirm to us that at least one other name is entering this conversation. Mark Rowan, the head of a private equity firm from Apollo, he'll be having a meeting with the president-elect sometime this week here. So just goes to show that it appears as though that the candidate list is growing here when it comes to this position. And in terms of what Team Trump is looking for, this is what Corey Lewandowski had to say to our own Blake Berman. Take a listen.
But he hasn't gone the economic route yet, and obviously the big pick there is Treasury. What's the profile, Corey, of what Donald Trump is looking for?
Well, someone who understands how to make sure our country and our economy is moving again, making sure that we don't have high interest rates, making sure that we are benefiting and valuing the manufacturing here in this country as opposed to overseas.
I mean, you heard Mr. Lewandowski speaking about that a bit. That really underscores that a key component to all of this is looking for someone to fill that role who is supportive of the issue of tariffs, which is something that the president-elect has talked about time and time again on the campaign trail, very important to his economic policy. So all of these factors coming into play as to who exactly that Treasury Secretary will ultimately end up being. Nichole.
All right, but Robert, we do know that Trump has tapped Brendan Carr as FCC chair. What can you tell us about that?
This is a decision that isn't a big surprise to a lot of people here, as the president-elect has referred to him as a real power figure when it comes to the issue of freedom of speech. Something else that the president-elect has talked about over the last few months is trying to tone down censorship that you see on social media platforms, which is something that Carr has been outspoken on here. So all that playing into the platform that the president-elect has been putting out here in making this move for FCC chair. Nichole.
All right, Robert Sherman live for us there in Florida. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.